so very pleased to give the floor to my colleague Gebrekirstos. He is here in Zwolle. He is my colleague here, my academic colleague here in the Netherlands. And together with EEPA, his organization Tigray was very much involved in trying to follow the situation in Tigray. And we cannot escape discussing what happened in Tigray if we consider this question today of echoes of hope, defending human rights, and upholding the universal promise. Gebrekirstos, you will speak on operating a human rights agenda under siege, a focus on Tigray wedged in war instability. The floor is yours.
A good position?
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon. It's already afternoon. And thank you for coming. And thank you for organizing this as well. Appreciate that. I think I like to hear more from a lot of people here with experience in this field. But since I'm invited to speak as well, I take the opportunity. So my name is Gebrekirstos, and I have been running a website called Tigray. Maybe from speaking, some of you already know the website. So I'll tell you a little bit about our efforts there and a little bit of the context with which we have been working, and also what this day, for example, is today, the Human Rights Day and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights means, especially for us as Tigrayans. So, as you might know, all of you, the war on Tigray started in 2020, and we started Tigray also just like 2 weeks later. And we were, we were pushing to do this. We had no experience. I am the founder, and I brought many of my colleagues and friends to work on this, but we had absolutely no idea, but we knew what was going on. The plan, we knew that they were coming to put Tigray under siege and to impose communications blackout. Why did we know about it? Because they were saying clearly that this was a plan. So we were just like shouting on social media, on different platforms. And then we thought we can't just keep doing the same thing. We have to do something. And then we set up this website and we started documenting and organizing information, whatever we can get, and publishing it. And we're still doing that. Meanwhile, you know that Tigray was completely put under a communications blackout. A lot of atrocities have happened there. Huge destruction has happened. Some estimates say between 500,000 people to 1 million people have been killed. This is a very big, significant war. And the actors have been really varied. The Ethiopian government, the Eritrean government, many other countries have also contributed to this. So what did we kind of like learn from this process? Like I said, we didn't have any experience in running, any human rights agenda or any website for that matter. But I think there was something in us, especially generally in Tigrayans, that we kind of believe there are international systems like the UN or Universal Declaration of Human Rights mean, these multilateral organizations, agreements, and all these type of things, we thought they meant something. We really thought if you speak and if you have really genuine cause, that there are organizations and institutions that can listen to your problems. Well, that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, we learned the hard way. We were just feeling like at some point that we were just alone. Honestly, that's how we felt. Not only did we feel like that, but also we saw the organizations that were meant to hear us, to protect us, like the UN agencies, were in one way or another part of the system that was waging war on us. I mean, I might seem like I'm exaggerating, but it's really incredible what some of the UN agencies in Ethiopia have been doing. I like to say a few things about, for example, the UNDP has something like a very strange letter written to the Secretary General, where the person said, refer to Tigray as a 2-year cancer in the Ethiopian body politic. I also remember the head of the International Organization for Migration saying in a leaked video, saying that she would never go to that region, referring to Tigray. And she also insinuated about Tigrayans going to Rwanda to kind of like orchestrate some kind of rebellion from there. So it just like, for us, it was just like surprise, shock after shock to hear all these things from the very organizations that we thought could be of help, could be of support for us. So it was just very difficult, but I think later on, as you listen to others as well, to other people, to other communities, you also hear that it is the same story. Last time I was talking with an academician from Sri Lanka, from the Tamil region, and I felt like this was kind of our story. I was shocked, you know. So what is really the case is that, you know, we weren't ourselves, you know, unfortunately, it's when you are affected that you start to listen to others. We weren't listening to others. We weren't even probably, you know, listening as much as possible to our neighbors, to the Eritreans. So once you kind of have gone through this process, you realize that there are a lot of silos, a lot of communities that are undergoing this type of suffering, this type of pain. Not only that, even the methods are similar, you know, like, for example, we were targeted by government orchestrated hate campaign and war. We were targeted even by social media companies. It's surprising how these organizations work, these social media companies. It's just basically on people. At some point, we were the guys that were complaining to social media companies to kind of do moderation. But we became victims after some time because those people, those against us, organized in groups and they started reporting us, reporting our accounts. And they respond to the number of requests. So they started taking down our accounts as well. So not only were we the victims, but we were also the ones that should be kicked out of social media platforms. So somehow it works on numbers, like everything you could say. So you kind of wonder, you know, these organizations like social media or even, you know, the UN organizations themselves work on some kind of number or influence and stuff. And one way I think people could make use of this is to come together, like people, like from different, like what you guys are doing today, bringing people from different communities and work together. And that's easier said, but I think there is no other option to do this because alone the issues that you are fighting are almost similar, but alone you make almost no difference. And as we can see now, the global politics is also changing. The focus on human rights is really less and less. And I feel like with the coming of Trump, there's gonna be, not that they were, as far as I am concerned, not that they were, it was better before, but I think it is, at least, the token things, even the lip service could be gone sometimes. And in that situation, I think it's very important to organize, to come together, to create unities across communities. One area where I think this could make a difference is really in pressuring social media to operate. These have come to be extremely dangerous tools. Really, I mean, in the case of Tigray, we saw what was possible on social media just being executed on the ground. Like, for example, there's a Tigrayan professor in Bahada where they put really almost, the information to kill him on social media, and then he was killed. This is how important, how significant these social media things are. And I really think that you can't fight them because they are too big and they are outside of our sphere of influence, for example, especially if you're from poor countries. Even Ethiopia, if it wants, it wouldn't stop them because they don't have business there, it can't influence them. But what you can do is, for example, people from across, especially minorities in the world, can come together and maybe, create some kind of like movement to influence these companies to change the way they promote content, the way they deal with minorities. And I think that is probably, relatively speaking, a low-hanging fruit that by coming together we can solve. But I should stop here, and I'm happy to hear if there are any other points or discussions. But for now, I guess I should stop here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gebere. I think that you bring some very important issues, the need, first of all, to work together. There might be so many different perspectives, and that is fine. Because different perspectives is not the problem. What we need to recognize is that the UN Declaration defines all of us as human beings that have an entitlement to live in dignity. And with that, we always find a way of collaboration. And so I think that this is going to be such an important issue in the coming years ahead, that this dehumanization that we that we are seeing in the trafficking, in Eritrea, in the Tigray war, where people are called daytime hyenas, where people are systematically addressed with hate speech. At the end of the day, that is going to affect all of us. And together we need to really stand against that. With that, I also like to thank you, Gebere, because you also cross this bridge, which also Tadesse did in his opening speech, between what our communities are living and then what in the diaspora we do as we relate to that. And these are also complicated things, very difficult things. So these are this is so important that we speak about that and that we don't take these things for granted because they're not easy. And so I really thank you for being there. And